I just want to talk to you for a minute and do my best to preach something to you. I enjoyed this morning. I enjoyed preaching and I enjoyed studying and I enjoyed it. And who's more important? You can't make a distinction. They're all important. The crowd's important, the woman's important, the girl's important. You can't make a distinction. Everybody's important. And so I enjoyed it. You can't make it. And Jesus, I love how Jesus, I just love how he takes care of, no matter what the situation is. He took care of the crowd, he took care of the woman, he took care of the little girl, he took care of all the families. I love this morning. And I know that it sounds weird to say you love what you preach, but I did. I wouldn't have preached it if I didn't like it. Amen? And so I thought it was awesome. And God is good to me. Tonight we're gonna go to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 33. And we're going to start with verse 1 and read through verse 10. And talk about the watchman. I was going through some old sermons that were on my computer, and I was printing them out, putting them in files so I can get all that stuff off my computer. My computer runs so slow right now because there's so much stuff on it. I'm trying to download stuff out of it, print it out, and make hard copies. And so I was going through an old sermon that I had done probably 3 or 4 years ago about not on my watch, it's the Father's Day message that I preached, not on my watch. And I began to read what God had given me to preach that Father's Day about some things that I said I wouldn't do, that I found myself doing. And I began to get convicted of some things in my life that I found myself, it's easier to just get along than to be the watchman. Come here a minute. It's easier to just stand on the tower and pray everything goes all right instead of sounding the trumpet. Because if you sound the trumpet, then you have to act. As long as the trumpet's not sounding, everything stays the same in the camp. But somebody blows the trumpet and it gets everybody's attention. And I'm not one of those guys that like a lot of attention. That's not who I am. That's not my makeup. That's not what I do. I don't need the spotlight. I shun the spotlight more than I crave it. I would rather the spotlight shine somewhere else most times than shine on me. And my children have a lot of that in them because of their parents. My wife and I are similar in that area, is that, it's fine, we don't need the spotlight. But when you blow the trumpet, and they've had to fight against that a lot because, how can I say this correctly? They've had to fight against that a lot, being my children, because if you've noticed, I've never put my children in the front and said, they're going to do this. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed that, but a lot of preachers, a lot of pastors put their kids up front, whether they have any abilities or not, because of their kids. I've probably gone too far the other way and not done that, to probably some of the detriment of the abilities that they have. Because that's who I am, and I would rather put chairs out than tell you to put chairs out. And so probably to the detriment of their callings and their gifts in some respects, I have not pushed them and pushed them forward. But God will open doors for them. Amen? God will open doors for them that no man can shut. And God will shut doors that no man can open. God will give them opportunity whenever it's their turn to have opportunity. And I'm just trying to train up a child in the way they should go so when they grow old they won't depart from it. I'm just trying to train up my children to be good men and women of God and good productive citizens and to have the ability to lead out of example. I'm trying to train my 4 children how to be godly men and women by being an example of how to be a godly man and woman. My wife and I. And so, I say all that to say this, is when you blow the trumpet, everybody looks to see where the sound's coming from. So my question this evening is this: can you stand the attention of blowing the trumpet? Can you stand the attention of being the person calling out that there's warning, calling the warning out that there's danger coming? Can you stand the attention of being that person that stands on the wall and blows the trumpet because there's danger headed toward the camp? Or is it just easier to stand there and pray that the enemy goes a different way? Now, I've grown up in the Pentecostal church, and I've seen both ways of handling things. I've watched some that just say, well, we need to pray about it. Well, that's great to pray about it, but sometimes you have to do something about it. And I've seen those that overreact and jump the gun and kill people's walk with God because they, instead of instructing them, they just jump on them. Nobody knows what I'm talking about, but and not praying and getting some wisdom about what to do. But we're going to read verse 1 through 10, and I'm going to talk to you for a little bit about, can you handle the pressure? Can you handle the pressure? Again, the word of the Lord came to me saying, Son of man, speak to the children of your people, and say to them, when I bring the sword over the land, and the people of the land take a man from their territory to make him their watchman. When he sees the sword coming upon the land, if he blows the trumpet and warns the people, then whosoever hears the sound of the trumpet and does not take warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be on his own head. He heard the sound of the trumpet, but did not take the warning. His blood shall be upon himself, but he who takes warning shall save his life. But if the watchman sees the sword coming and does not blow the trumpet, and the people are not warned, and the sword comes and takes away any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity, but his blood I will require at the watchman's hand. So you, son of man, I have made you a watchman for the house of Israel. Therefore you shall hear a word from my mouth and warn them for me. When I say to the wicked, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die, and you do not speak to warn the wicked from his way, that wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood I will require at your hand. Nevertheless, if you warn the wicked to turn from his way, and he does not turn from his way, he shall die in his iniquity, but you have delivered your soul. Well, that's hard. Verse 10. Therefore you, are you with me? Ezekiel 33. 1 through 10. I'm sorry. Last one. 10. Therefore, you, O son of man, say to this house of Israel, thus you say, if your transgressions and your sins lie upon us, and we pine away in them, how shall we live? Let's pray. Father, help me just a minute. Father, help me just a minute to preach your word right, to be right, and to do right. Father, I thank you for every person in this house. I thank you for every family represented. And I ask that you just move upon us. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Everybody said, Amen. Amen. Now listen. Go to verse 1. Go to verse 1, Ethan. 33:1. Thank you. 1. Thank you. And again, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, verse 2, Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, and say unto them, when I bring the sword upon the land, if the people of the land take a man of their coasts, and set him there for a watchman. Now listen. I think I've used this before, but I'm going to use it again. There's several people in here that are supposed to be watchmen, not just me. Preacher, I believe it would. We have elders and we have deacons. We have Jim, we have James, we have Donald, we have Buster. Those are your deacons and elders. Your elders are James and Jim. Your deacons are Donald and Buster. Does everybody knows that? I hope everybody knows that. I'm the pastor. That's 5 watchmen, at least. They're supposed to be watching. They're supposed to be vigilant. They're supposed to be brave. They're supposed to stand on the wall and watch for an attack of the enemy. Actually, an attack, I'm not going to say the enemy because I can get into another thing, but I'm not going to. Looking for an attack to come. And the Bible says in 33:2, and Ezekiel says, when I bring the sword upon the land, as God, I don't want to get into that right now. If the people of the land take a man of their coast and send him for their watchman. Now I want to ask you a question. Okay, I'll help me. You've been taken out of this church, us 5 men, to be watchmen on the tower. I'm just using us for an example because I can use us. Okay? I'm not saying we're the only 5. I'm just saying that's 5. You have taken us out of your coast, taken it out of your land, taken it out of your church, and said, watch for us. Watch for us that the enemy does not come and take us out in our iniquity. And us 5 men have a responsibility. That responsibility is to sound the alarm when something is not right. Our responsibility is greater than just preaching and telling you how we should do things and how God says to do things and giving us words and best. It's greater than that. Our responsibility is the spiritual responsibility that goes beyond the responsibility of just a normal church member. What do you mean? That's what I mean. When you're a watchman on the tower, the blood of people that we do not warn, the blood of their sin is on our hands. You with me, guys? Do you understand what that means? Do you understand that that means if people die in their iniquity and we didn't warn them, that God holds us accountable for their iniquity? Boy, it gets quiet. But that's what the Bible says. I know that the Bible also says that we all must work out our own salvation with fear and trembling. I get it. I know it's a personal one-on-one relationship with God. I get it. But if I don't warn and I don't holler and I don't scream when there's an attack coming, let's go to verse number 3. Verse number 3. If when he seeth, who seeth? The watchman, the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people. Verse 4. Then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet and taketh not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head. I can preach to you and you can't ever say that I've never told you about salvation. You can't ever say that because I have. You can't ever say that I've not told you about being faithful to God because I have. You can't ever say that I never told you how to tithe and how to give an offering because I have. I've preached a pretty evenly balanced gospel, I believe. I try to. I don't preach all about money. I don't preach all about something else. I preach a pretty balanced doctrine, I believe. And so I try to anyway. So understand this. You cannot say that I did not tell you that there's a way of escape. But if I refuse to tell you when an attack is coming or when something's out of order, if I refuse to tell you that, let's say for example, a one-on-one relationship. Okay, how can I say this? John, help me do this. Okay, if I say for a one-on-one relationship, because if I need to talk to you and I see something going on in your life, and I don't warn you and say, hey, listen, you need to do this. This is not good for you. This is not beneficial to you. and you get taken away in that sin, when God has revealed something to me that I should have told you, that I'm responsible. Because what happens is this. We get comfortable in our own, and we get so busy in our own lives, and we're busy doing it. We're busy doing the things of God, and we're busy with church, and we're busy with our house, and we're busy with our family, we're busy with our kids, we're busy with everything, and sometimes it's just easier to say, oh, they'll figure it out. They'll figure it out. Because I know that as growing up in this church, I know that a lot of times, a lot of things were not said that should have been said. A lot of things were swept under carpets that should have not been swept under carpets, and a lot because of the spirit of offense that is so prevalent in churches. And I'll just use our example of our church because that's the only one I know. Because the spirit of offense is so easily brought up that it's easier just to let people just do their own thing and let them figure it out. Instead of being a church mother or a church father or being a deacon and an elder or a pastor and saying, listen, can I talk to you for a minute? It's easier to sweep it under the carpet. Oh, Jesus. It's instead of just saying, hey, I'm blowing the trumpet. There's an attack coming on your life. There's an attack coming on your life. There's an attack coming on your life. And it's always just been easier. And say we've let people go through hell in their lives when we could have stopped it. We could have stopped it, but we were afraid to offend. And I don't know if it's, I can just talk about my church. I can't talk about anybody else's church. I can just talk about the church I grew up in. And the spirit of offense is so prevalent in our church sometimes that no matter what you say, no matter how you say it, somebody gets offended about something. And listen, I don't say things because I'm trying to offend you. I say things because I love you and I'm trying to keep you from going off the cliff. I'm trying to get you to quit. Listen, there's a bridge out. I'm trying to get you to slow down, but you're shifting into fifth, going by me, laughing as you're about to go to the depths of your death, because we're afraid to tell somebody, stop that. You can't do that. Verse, where am I at? 5? He heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning. His blood shall be upon him. But he that taketh warning shall deliver his soul. It's not my responsibility how you receive it. It's my responsibility to tell you. There's a way to tell somebody things. You can't go to somebody and say, you're going straight to hell. Because they never sent you first. Come on. There's a way to tell somebody something. You can go to somebody, listen, but that's what David said. I love what David said about come fellowship with your church, get to know each other. The Bible says that we're supposed to know who labors among us, right? We're supposed to be a family, right? We're supposed to be a family of God, correct? We're supposed to love each other, right? We're supposed to care for one another. Is that not correct? Do we get aggravated? Of course you get aggravated with each other. You're people. We get aggravated because some people do dumb things and they think you do dumb things, and so we get aggravated. Come on, help me a minute. And so, and yes, but you're not supposed to cut each other off because you got aggravated with something that somebody did. We're supposed to love each other and take care of each other. And when you go to somebody in that regard, whenever they know that you care about them, you know the way that we built a youth group back in the day? You know how we did it? No, you don't. This is how we did it. We fed them, we loved them, we high-fived them, we hugged on their neck. They knew that Brother Jeff loved them and cared about them. And then I could correct them. We picked them up every week. Without stop, we picked them up every week. And got them and brought them to God's house. And did they always get treated good in God's house? No, they didn't always get treated good in God's house. They didn't always, but that's just people, man. You understand that? And I get this, because I was there. When you get off work at 5 and you got to be here at 5:30, and you don't always, can I preach about me? You don't always want to be here. Preach on, preacher. I'm going to preach on, because that's the God's honest truth. You don't always want to be here, and you sure don't always be here messing with somebody else's kids. Preach, preacher, I'm going to. Because you're just a human being, and sometimes your body, sometimes you're just, how many ever get tired? Woo, I've noticed when I get 48, I'm tired. All right, so listen, so understand that I get it, I understand. But the problem is this. We can't sound the trumpet no matter if we're tired or not tired. Because listen, the enemy never attacks, they don't attack on a sunny day when the wind's just right. They attack when you're least expecting it, when you're tired. You know, police do raids 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Why? Because most people are asleep. And so they raid houses then. They don't do it. Well, they ought to be getting up about now. Let's go raid them. Let's go knock on the door. No, they usually do raids at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning when everybody's asleep because they don't want you to. It's a sense of surprise. It's a surprise attack. So the watchman on the tower has to be ready no matter what time it is. Come on, help me. Help me just a minute. Verse 6. But if the watchmen see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, this is where I want to get to. The people be not warned. And the sword come and take away any. That's my says, take any away. But if the watchmen see the sword come and don't blow the trumpet, and the people aren't warned, if the sword come and take any, verse 7, so thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore thou shalt hear the word at my mouth and warn them from me. Guys, this isn't just about me coming to preach. This isn't just about you coming and listening. This is about warning a nation that there's a Jesus coming from the other side, and we need to have expectancy that he's coming, and he's coming soon. Because if we fail to blow the trumpet, verse 8, I say to the wicked, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die if thou dost not speak to and warn the wicked from his way. That a wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood shall require thy hand. It's not only a church level, it's a national level. Go back to verse 7. He said, so thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Not just the synagogue, but all of Israel, the house of Israel. Therefore thou shalt hear the word of my mouth and warn them from me. God is saying this, I'm going to send a warning, and you have to tell the warning. Because if you don't, then I'm going to require that of their blood at our hands. And so that's why when I preach, I try to, I don't know if it always comes across that way, but I try to preach with passion because I'm passionate about what I do. I'm not just up here and I'm reading a biography of what, listen, you can do that at home. But I'm trying to passionately tell you that we've got to get busy doing some things for God, because if we don't, God's going to call us and God's going to require some things of us. And our deacon and eldership and me, we're not just in the office eating donuts and drinking pop. I'm trying to get them to understand my heart. I'm trying to pour into them what's inside of me. Because I want them to be the watchman on the tower with me. For so long we've just said the pastor can do it. That's what we pay him for. And I don't know if you know this or not, but I have a back. And when I'm looking this way, I can't see what's going on behind me. I'm not a mom with eyes in the back of my head. Okay? I'm not that guy. But when there's 5 of us together, there's a circle. And we can watch what's going on around us at all times. But the problem that we have sometimes is that we're not brave enough to sound the trumpet. Because if we sound the trumpet, somebody's going to look at us, and somebody's going to be upset with us, and somebody's going to say something negative about us, and someone's going to listen. Can I share this with you? The enemy's not happy when you begin to blow the trumpet and tell the people that there's an attack coming. The enemy's not happy with you. They're the first person they're going to try to shoot is you. Because they don't want you sounding an alarm. They don't want you telling anybody what's coming. So if they can shoot you first and kill you, that's what's going to happen. Tommy can testify to this when you're in Israel in the city of David, in the walls. There's these slits and the walls are still there for when they can shoot arrows through the wall. It's so cool. Man, I wish all of y'all could go. I wish we could just do a group trip to go to Israel. Y'all would just eat it. I would just love it. You guys would eat it up. Now, you'd hate the flight, but you'd love it. Listen, you'd hate the food too. But anyway, it's so cool. It's so cool to see where men stood with arrows and bows and defended the city of David. It's still there. It's so cool to see the walls that were built and they're still there. Because somebody was a watchman on a tower. And I know Jerusalem's been destroyed and rebuilt, destroyed and rebuilt. I get it. It's been, I can't remember how many times they tell us, I don't remember. But it's been destroyed, rebuilt, destroyed, rebuilt, destroyed, rebuilt. But as a church, can I just, as a pastor's point of view, can I come to you as that? Here's the pastor's point of view. I can't see everything that goes on. I don't know everything that goes on. Because there's sometimes I'm dad and I'm pastor. Preach, I'm going to. There's sometimes I'm husband and not pastor. There's sometimes that I have to, listen, I can't be here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And you don't want me to be here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because I'm going to be gripey. That's God's honest truth. I'm going to be hard to get along with. But understand this. Sometimes they matter.
That's right.
They always matter, but you know what I'm saying? And I need you. I need you to stand on the tower with me. I need you to stand on the wall with me. I need you to say, listen, hey, pastor, this is what's going on. And we need to sound the alarm. We need to blow the shofar. We need to go, listen, we need to get the ram's horn blowing. We got to have some things going on. Because if we don't, what's going to happen is somebody's going to come, the enemy's going to come and attack us. And we're going to say, never saw it coming. Never saw it coming. And then somebody in their holiness is going to say, well, they should have known. Okay, super Christian, you didn't know either. Evidently, he goes, you didn't say anything, so now the blood's required at your hands. If you knew, and you didn't say anything, now blood's required at your hands. And so you have to know what's going on. Listen, verse 9. Nevertheless, if you warn the wicked to turn from his way, and he does not turn from his way, he shall die in his iniquity, but you shall have delivered your soul. Now wait a minute. I found that a very interesting way of putting that. He didn't say, nevertheless, if you warn the wicked from his way to turn and he does not turn from his way, he shall die in his iniquity, but you deliver the warning. He didn't say nothing about delivering the warning. He said, deliver your soul. Oh, I'm going to go somewhere. I got 17 minutes. Can I go somewhere?
Go.
I can get the shot in from there. Okay, listen. I got 17 minutes. Is your soul knitted with the souls of this congregation?
Yes. Come on.
Have you knitted your souls together? Or is this just where you come to church? Do you love them like you love your own family? Do you care for them like you care for your own family? Are you crying with them? Listen, are you crying when somebody's crying? And are you celebrating when somebody is celebrating? Are you excited for them when something good happens? Are you mourning with them when something bad happens? Are you in prayer for them when you know that they're sick? Are your souls knitted together? Huh? Or are you just hanging out at church trying to find something that's wrong? Because I promise you, you can find a lot that's wrong if you start looking. Here's the deal. A watchman is not just looking for something that's wrong. That's a busybody. Because I guarantee a watchman on the wall can find somebody's car and say, they shouldn't have built it like that. Those wheels are crooked. Why would they paint it that color? Because, people are people. So they're on the tower. They're looking at it. What kind of horse is that? That horse can't pull that big old car. What in the world? Hey, Joe, come here, look. Really? But they're not blowing a trumpet about that. You with me? They blow a trumpet when it's an outside attack, something that will kill you and kill your family and kill your church and kill your community. Are your souls knitted together? Do you love the people that you go to church with? Have you delivered your soul? Have I delivered my soul when I gave my warning? Did I give it everything I had? Did I deliver everything I had? Did my soul hurt? Because I'm telling you, sometimes your soul hurts when you have to blow a trumpet about something that, oh Jesus help me, when you have to blow a trumpet about something that you don't really want to blow. You can't believe these people are attacking you. I thought you were my friend. Because nobody ever comes to a church to attack it and say, hey, I'm here to attack you. They come to a church, a wolf in sheep's clothing. And you have to watch what's going on around you. That's why it's important that you pray. That's why it's important that you read. That's why it's important you go to ice cream screams or whatever it's called. I never get that right. Is that right? Okay. Ice cream screams. That's why it's important that you go to Ignite. That's why it's important that you go to Next Step. That's why it's important because you know who these people are and you get to know them intimately. You know their kids, you know their wives, you know their families, you know their husbands, you know them. That's what they were designed to do, guys. They weren't designed for you to have another place to eat without going to a restaurant. They weren't designed for that. If you just want to go eat, you go eat. They were designed for people of that age group to get together and know one another. And be ministered to. And blow trumpets. Next step is really close to my heart. I don't mean to dismiss any of the other ones. And here's why. Because I have kids that age. And I have people that are that age that have left, they're not faithful in church anymore. They used to be, but they're not here anymore. And you call them, oh, everything's fine. Yeah, everything's fine. Right, that's why you're not at church. You wait till they get in trouble. You wait until the casino quits paying off. You wait till all that stuff happens. But it was designed for this reason. To know each other. So you can go to them and say, listen, I see some things. Are you guys okay? And they can trust you. I love what Paula Whitlock, her saying that she said she preached one time, is my name safe in your mouth? Can I trust you? Can I trust you to tell you what's really going on in my life? Can I trust you to tell you what's really going on in school? I'm 20 years old and I'm struggling in college. And I don't know, I can't tell my parents. But can I trust you? I'm 25 years old and my marriage is falling apart. Is there anything, can I help? Can you, that's what it's designed for. That you can't maybe come tell me, but you can tell the leader. Ignite 36 to 55 years old. Can I talk to you about my parents growing old? Can I talk to you about the strain it puts on my family? Can I talk to you about, it breaks my heart to see my parents, because that's what we're going through at that age. Can I tell you that I can't stand that son-in-law of mine? Because that's what you have kids that are getting married. And I want a godly man for my daughters and a godly wife for my son. And I don't want to have to go to them and say, I can't stand your stupid choice. But can I go to my leaders and say, can I talk to you for a minute? Because I got to sound a warning. And they sound a warning. They come and they say, well, Jeff, are you okay? I want to talk to you because there's something going on in your life. I can tell because you have intimate relationship there. 56 and older, our remnant group, which I love you guys so much. You guys are so awesome. You guys do everything around here. I don't know what we would do without you. We just do so much stuff around here. But you know, we have first-hand knowledge of this. Losing spouses. Our children maybe they're getting divorced. And we don't know how to deal with that. Our health is starting to get where it's not what it used to be. You need somebody to speak to about that. And you need a watchman on the tower to come to you and say, hey, Bill. Hey, Joe. Hey, Jim. I'm trying to find a name that's not here. I can't find. Okay. Hey, yeah, Pookie. Hey, Pookie. I just noticed something going on in your life. I just want to make sure you're okay. Because I can see the sadness in your face. God laid you on my heart. What can I do for you? See, I can't do all that by myself. It wasn't designed for me to do it by myself. Next Step, Ignite, and Remnant were designed to be what Jethro told Moses. It's to go let the people govern some of the things. And if there's something that they can't handle, let them bring it to you. But let them handle it. Because you can't, these people are too much for you. You can't do everything. And so that's what it was designed to do. And I know I got off subject just a minute. I'm sorry. I'll get back. But listen to me. Listen to me. I said it, that is a personal one-on-one level of blowing the trumpet. Hey, can I talk to you for a minute? I just want to make sure you're okay. Not just being busy, but ministering. We don't need another event to eat. We eat enough.
Man.
Which I don't mind if you eat. Please don't. See, if I say stuff like that, well, Jeff said he didn't want us to eat. That's not what I said. That's not what I said. But we just don't need another event just so we can have an excuse to eat. How's that? Okay. It's ministry. It's ministry. Just as much as it is singing, just as much as it's playing, as much as preaching, teaching, it's ministry. It's blowing a trumpet and saying, excuse me, I see something trying to attach itself to you, and I want to blow a trumpet and let you know that somebody else sees it too. But when you say that, what's going to happen is you're going to get attention drawn to you. Can you handle the pressure? Because when you blow the trumpet, you become the target. You become the target of the arrows from the enemy. Can you handle the pressure? Can you handle the pressure? Listen, there's some times in my life that I just need to have one-on-one relationships, and it's not Pastor and Kim. It's just friends, me and Kim. There's those times that we have those conversations where I'm not Pastor Jeff, I'm just Jeff, and she's just Kim. She's not Sister Kim. There's those times that we have those conversations. They're not very often, but you can tell the difference. There's times when I need those relationships because that's what I learned. That's when I learn about what's going on in your life. That's when I hear a voice say, hey, they're dealing with this, and you need to speak into their life this. Because God gives you a word to speak into people's lives. It's a watchman. Deacons, elders, you got to get to know these people. You have to get to know them. I don't care how long you've been here. They come get to know me. Not that you said that. I'm not saying you said that. But you need to get to know who it is you go to church with and who you're protecting. You need to. You have to. Who are you protecting? Who are you calling? Who are you on the wall? Who are you on the tower for? Who are you on the wall for? Who are you in the watchtower? Who are you? That sounds like we're Jehovah's Witnesses, doesn't it? Okay, but who are you on the wall for? Who are you protecting? I promise you, if you don't have an intimate relationship with them, you won't care if they die.
Amen.
But it hurts when somebody that you're close to is going through something. We got to get to know each other. I don't know if I have to have another service. I don't know if I have to have another group. I don't know if I have to be more involved. I don't know what I have to do. But we have to do something to get more involved in people's lives. Almost to the point to where it's intrusive. I don't want to be intrusive, but I'm a watchman on a tower. Ethan, if you don't mind, would you go back to verse 3? If when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people, verse 4. And whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet and taketh not the warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be required of their own head. Now listen, and I'm about to wrap up, so I told you what to keep you that. If I go to you and I tell you, listen, the Lord asked me to, now please be careful who you listen to. Look at me. Please be careful to who it is that you listen to and let them speak into your life. Because not everybody that comes and says, thus saith the Lord, has a word from the Lord for you. You better hear me. There's been a lot of people's lives jacked up because somebody comes and said, thus saith the Lord, and we were too goofy to test it. When God comes to speak something into your life and we tell them, hey, this is what I see, and they don't receive that, and something happens in their life, there's nothing you can do about that. Verse 5. He heard the sound of the trumpet. Listen, there's a lot of people on Sunday morning that hear me cry out and call out. Every Sunday morning I ask the same thing. I ask the same question every Sunday. I should say every. 99.8% of the time. I have the same question. If you don't know this Jesus I'm talking about and you need to know him, please raise your hand and let me pray with you. And 99% of the time, there's no hands except for Kimmy. Kimmy gets saved every Sunday. I love Kimmy. Just love her. She's such a sweet spirit. And so you can't say that you've not heard. And they can't say they didn't know. He heard the sound of the trumpet and took not the warning. His blood shall be upon him. That he that taketh warning shall deliver his soul. Verse 6. I'm about to sleep. I promise. But if the watchman see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any, 7. So thou, son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore thou shalt hear the word of my mouth and warn them from me. 8. Then I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die, if thou dost not speak to warn the wicked from his way. That wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood shall require your hands. Can I take 6 minutes? That means 10, but I'm going to take 6, okay? Please don't be in leadership so you can say you have a leadership position.
Amen.
Please. Because we're not talking about a microphone. We're not talking about your name being known. We're talking about eternal spiritual things.
Right.
that if I'm a watchman and I don't tell you about Jesus, and I tell you about the attack coming in your life, if I don't tell you about those things, your blood is required at my hand. Brother Rick, I don't want to stand there with blood dripping off my hands. It scares me. That scares me. When I started reading through it, I thought, have I done what I'm supposed to do? Have I said everything I'm supposed to say? And the answer is no. I'm sure I haven't. And I just pray that, God, forgive me. If I haven't done what you've asked me to do, if I haven't said everything I'm supposed to say, if I haven't done what it is that you've asked me to do, I don't want somebody else's blood dripping from my hands as I'm standing before God. And He said, I told you, you didn't tell them. How scary that is, Sister Norma? That always makes you say, you know what, God, I really don't want to do this. Let somebody else do it. It's almost enough to make you say, you know what, I don't want to teach a class because I don't want to be wrong. That almost makes you say, I don't want to open up the door for anybody because I don't want to I want to be a witness to them. I don't want to. Almost makes you not want to be the men's director, the ladies' director, because this is important. But can we read verse 9? Nevertheless, I warn the wicked of his way, turn from it. If he doesn't return from his way, he shall die as wicked, but thou shalt live your soul. Verse 10. Verse 10. Therefore, O Son of Man, speaking to the house of Israel, thus you speak, saying, if our transgressions and our sins be upon us, and we pine away, then how shall we then live? And can I share this with you? Can I just share this? And I'll leave you alone. I'm on my 4th minute, okay? But what a great opportunity that God has laid in your hands. I got scared, and then I started thanking God for the responsibility that He gave me. I got nervous about it, but then I started thinking, God thought enough of me to set me as a watchman. I don't know what He saw in me, but he thought enough of me, Brother Dean, to set me as a watchman for His people. Do you understand that? Come on, leadership. Deacons and elders, do you understand how much God thinks of you? To set you as a watchman? Teachers, minister, or whatever you do. I don't care what it is that you do in this church to do ministry. And listen, everything's a ministry. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's opening doors. I don't care if it's cleaning the toilets. I don't care if it's driving a van. I don't care if it's making sandwiches, whatever it is. What an opportunity God has given you. Because when you walk into the portals of glory and you have done what God said, He's going to say, well done, thou good and faithful servant. And you get to say, thank God I made it to there's no blood dripping on my hands. What an opportunity. What a great big God. I got nervous at first, but then I started thinking, wow, thank you, God. Thank you. Thank you for breaking your word down in my spirit, and I can just, man, and I can read something, and all of a sudden all this stuff comes out of it. I thank Him for that. I thank Him for giving me the abilities that He's given me to be a minister. That if I had to, I could get a ukulele and do worship if I had to. Amen? No matter what, but God's given me that ability. And He's entrusted it with me. Now, guys, I don't think you're really getting this. The most important thing to God are souls. So much so, He died so He could win them. And He's entrusted you with the most precious thing He has. Which is His souls of His people. And He said, woo, look what I've given you. And you have the responsibility. It's only scary if you're not doing what He said to do. But it's glorious when you have know what? God, I've done what you've asked me to do, and what I haven't done, God, please forgive me, and I repent, and I'll do it next time, I promise. But hear me. If you've never been in that situation and you don't know what I'm talking about, jump in the water. Come on in, the water's fine. Because He is an amazing, amazing God, and He will bless you like you did it yourself. I promise you. He gives you the ability, but He'll bless you like you did it yourself, and you get to be... I need somebody that's a minister. Somebody that knows what I'm talking about. David, Lisa, whatever, okay. Tommy, Janet. When it goes right and you think, man, that went good. There's no better feeling than that. When you go and you minister to Rose Hill, I'm about to say countryside. When you go to Rose Hill, and they're so happy to see you, and they want to keep you, and they, are you sure you gotta go? Yeah, I gotta go. You know, I got church tonight. Okay. And they're so hungry. They just want somebody to love them. And you get to do that. You get to do that. And God entrusted you with 20 souls today. And you got to speak to them and say, hey, Jesus is coming. I don't know what you preach on. But Jesus is coming. You get to tell them, what an opportunity. Tommy and Janet, when you get to do that, isn't that cool? When you get to do that, mark the doors, isn't that cool? When you get to give out burritos. People, that's not a ministry. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. God entrusted you with over 100 burrito people. Okay, whatever. That is so cool. That is so cool. That He loved you enough to do that. And He trusted you to do that. And then you can say, Father, I delivered my soul. I trust today that David delivered his soul at Rose Hill. I've delivered my soul twice today. I'm tired. I'm sweaty and I'm tired. I've delivered my soul twice today. Twice. I'll be back Wednesday, ready to go. Why? Because God has entrusted me to do this. I'm a watchman. It's my job to watch. But it's not just my job to watch. It's everybody's job to watch. And when an enemy comes, we're to blow the trumpet. Amen? Amen. Sister Heike, can I get an amen? Amen. Thank you. I just love you. I do. I just love Sister Heike. She means, y'all don't have any idea. But she means a great deal to me. I just absolutely, I mean, and I know sometimes that you don't know that, then I'll tell you enough, but I love her. I love her spirit. I just love her. Appreciate it. Sister Kim, I don't tell her enough. This lady prays for you more than you know.
Amen.
And I love her heart. I love her heart. She's down here praying on Saturdays and everybody else is asleep. I don't mean to just ratchet out, but anyway. Love her. Tuesday night. She prays. I think I've asked this question before. Who's going to take the place of the people who passed away? Well, there's one. She prays. Just love it. Aren't you excited that God can trust you with the souls of His people? Maybe not. I think it's cool. All you Sunday school teachers, you don't have any idea, Sunday school teachers. Maybe you do, but I don't think you do. How important it is with what you're doing in those kids' lives. I don't know if you really, because I was a Sunday school teacher for a long time. I know how tedious it gets. I get it. I understand how it's like these knuckleheads don't care if I'm here and I'm not here. They don't care, but they do care. They do care, and they are, and it's needed because you're getting the Word of God in their heart. You're getting the Word of God in their heart. And I say Sunday school teachers, but also the adults. The adult teachers are my heroes because they're hard to teach. A lot of them are because I think they already know everything. Yeah, but not all of them. But I was better with little kids. Because he who holds the candy holds the power in little kids' classes. And so you can probably try that, Dean. Who holds the coffee has the power. But listen, I know they're in classes. Listen, we have to be watchmen, not only for each other, but for our community. And when you see something in the community, you need to blow the trumpet. You need to say, hey, can I tell you right now that we have a big time meth problem in this community? We need to blow the trumpet. Can I tell you right now we have a bunch of young people that are hopeless and they don't think there's anything for them. I think their life is just over, this is all it's going to be. And they need somebody to blow the trumpet and say, no, your life's just getting started. You need to be born again and start over again. Come on, help me again. Look, guys, listen to me. I'm not going to quit. I promise this time. We have young men and some young ladies, but mostly young men that have never known their dads. They don't know their dads. They don't know anything about where they come from. We have young women who are being raised by single moms. And I've said this 100 times, but I'll say it 101. When I go to Randolph Drive and I pick up kids at Randolph Drive on Wednesdays, there's one common thread. It's a single mom with kids, did the best she can to put food on the table. That's most of it. I didn't say it's always, but it's most of it down there. That's a common thread down there. Sister Kim can testify that's the case. We have reasons to blow the trumpet. We do. But I have to ask you this question one more time. Can you handle the pressure? Can you handle the pressure of blowing the trumpet? Because what's going to happen when you blow the trumpet, the enemy is going to attack you. Because they were trying to silence you. I now told Ava this the other day, is that the devil doesn't want you to have peace in your life. He wants you to be dead. The devil doesn't want her to have peace at night when she's trying to sleep. He wants to disrupt it. The devil doesn't want my daughters to have peace. He wants to disrupt that. The devil doesn't want my son to have peace. He wants to disrupt that. And when dad blows the trumpet, the way to get to dad is through my kids, through my spouse. So there's a lot of attacks that come, not directly, but indirectly. Because it's easier to hurt me this way. Because I can fight for me. But it's easier to attack this way. Are you with me? So trumpet blowers, be warned. It's a great privilege to be on the wall. But it also puts you in danger when you're on the wall. Number one, you're exposed to the enemy. Number two, you're exposed to your church. What do you mean? When you're on the wall, I can see your faults. I can see what you're doing. I can see your actions. It's easy to judge from down here when there's nothing, no danger coming. Because why are they doing it there? How come they get to be on the wall? How come I don't get to be on the wall? I can shoot an arrow as good as they can. I can blow a trumpet better than they can. How come they get to be on the wall? But when the danger comes, and they blow the trumpet and the arrows start flying, you're happy not to be on the wall. Somebody say amen? If those arrows start flying, you're going to have to either be good at ducking or good at getting behind something. Because when those arrows start flying, somebody's going to get it. And you got to fight back. Is that any good? Stand to your feet with me, please.